Juliya Chernetsky here with FanPass.tv at Rockville in Florida, Jacksonville, hanging out with Sick Puppies. You sick puppies.
Those sick puppies.
What's going on, guys? How's this festival treating you so far?
It's awesome. I think this is the first year we've played it.
Oh, this is your first time at Rockville?
Yes.
So,
and we are very acquainted with Jacksonville from previous shows, but we've never played this festival, and it was awesome. Great.
Any bands
great
that you
time.
were like are gonna check out here?
A lot of the bands we played with last night at a festival in Fort Myers, and so we're gonna check out Korn and Rob Zombie tonight, and a lot of the Five Finger. We're friends with all those bands now, and so it's a good time. Yeah.
So you guys are from Australia, where I've never been before, and I'm from the Ukraine, so I love travel.
We were just in Kiev like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. That's my capital city, obviously.
Nice.
But one of the places I've never been is Australia, and so I don't mean to be inappropriate, but I'm just going to preface that comment, the next comment. I recently read that women in Australia, by percentage, are the most sexually open in the whole world.
Is that right?
Now
I'd have to agree with that.
No,
I'm
you
joking.
expand.
I'm joking.
What's going on?
They're
What's
Australian,
what's,
so I
is
don't-
it because?
I don't know.
That's the first time I've heard of that.
I literally read in Maxim magazine, because that's what I read.
Yeah.
That like they did like a interviews with people all throughout the world and women, and like apparently women in Australia are the most open to
Getting down.
whatever
All right.
than anywhere else. How do you feel about that?
Interesting. Well, I'm not originally from Australia, so there's that loophole. I'm half
Way to
Japanese.
get out of it.
Way to
half
get-
Japanese, so I'm very conservative, and I don't know about that.
Gentlemen,
Yes.
Well,
straight up, yes.
He's a
Not in a bad, not in a
I've been having orgies for life.
no, but not. I think not in a negative way. In the most positive way, of there's a relaxed,
open-minded,
there's a
right?
relaxed atmosphere that comes with the Australian culture. There's only 30 million people in the country. It's the same size as the
Lot of
States, and everyone's living by the beach. Everyone's wearing bikinis. Everyone's chill. Everyone just wants to have a beer
He's
and
like
have
fit too, like eating
yeah,
healthy, looking
yeah,
healthy.
yeah.
There's
it's-
kangaroos running around.
Yeah, it's a really good way of
what does
life.
kangaroo meat taste like?
It tastes like steak, dude.
It's a bit gamey.
It is actually ironically.
I made like a point to first time we were there to like eat it, and I was like, it's a bit of a level.
It's real cheap. It's cheap meat. It's
But
not the
people
best.
think kangaroos are everywhere. I think we were there first time we went there. We were there for like 3 months.
He was pissed. He didn't
And
see a single kangaroo.
it was
What
like-
are these kangaroos?
It was like 2 months before I saw a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Yeah, people think they're everywhere, but
It's
It
terrible.
was champagne problems.
What kind of music did you guys grow up on? Like, what was the stuff that inspired you to become musicians?
Well, for Emma and me, Silverchair was the big one, which was obviously an Australian band. They lived in Newcastle, we lived in Sydney, so they were like within reach, and they were the same age, and we loved the music, and it just made us sort of click over and go, oh, well, we can just do that. You know, we didn't have to think about careers and jobs. We just went, oh, we'll just do what they did. That's great. So then we got deep into the alternative scene, and Green Day and Rage, and Incubus a little later, and just all the best music, really, like all the really good
It's
stuff.
quite eclectic, actually, what you just mentioned.
Well,
It's all
I think
rock, but
that
there's like a
that
spectrum
helps the
there.
band in a lot of ways, because
Right?
like Mark's plays like Bonham and Dave Grohl.
it's not getting too crazy.
No, it's true, like the way that he hits. And Emma plays like Flea, and I play more like Daniel Johns or Tom Morello. So none of those people would really be in each other's band, but we sort of made our band like that, and then we have a very eclectic catalog, I guess.
Dream Tour. Alive or
Dream
dead.
Tour.
Rage Against the Machine, for sure.
I mean, they're still alive and there's still hope. So yeah.
There is still hope.
I mean, dead or alive? I don't know. Zeppelin, obviously.
Zeppelin. Zeppelin. Like Zeppelin, you're going to open up for us.
Yeah.
That's how we're going to do this. That would be amazing.
Yeah, right.
Muse would definitely be one for all of us,
They're
yeah.
massive.
Yeah.
They're so like,
You seen them live?
I've seen them a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I saw them Lollapalooza. It was crazy. It was like pouring. There was all these lights, and they were so just sonically huge.
Yeah,
and
it's
they feel
unbelievable.
like-
I think they travel with an actual analog desk, like one of the old analog desks to do their sound. Like that's part of the reason. That
But then they have the best light show.
and they spend all their money on all that stuff. So yeah, they're pretty. They know how to run it.
Have you heard of Big Day Out in Australia? It's like it's called Big Day Out. I don't know. It's like a massive festival. in
It's the
Australia.
biggest festival in the Southern Hemisphere and definitely in Australia.
The first time we did it, like, I don't know, what is it, 06 or 7?
Seven.
And Muse was headlining in Tool. And that was the first time we saw Muse, like, side of stage. It was, like, mind-blowing.
And they were so
Yeah,
cool
right.
about it because they actually put a speaker on the side of the stage for people to like, so the PA mix goes to the side
we
of the
can
stage,
hear it.
so you can hear
Oh,
it how
that's
it's
so
supposed to
cool.
be. Yeah, it's really
You know how it
cool.
is on side
Because I
stage.
hate side
Everyone's
stage
like, I want to
'cause
be
you
side
can't
stage. You can't hear anything.
You don't. Why would you
Yeah.
want to be side stage? You can't hear the vocals ever.
Yeah.
And you just have speakers blowing into your ears. I should have been wearing earplugs all these years, but I didn't. And now I can't hear very well. That's why I talk so loud.
Yeah.
That's why. That's So when you guys are on the road, what do you like to do? Like, do you like to read? Do you like to watch films? Do you like all these things? Like, what, as people, as individuals, like, what would you say defines you?
Films and TV.
A lot of
We're
TV
pretty boring,
shows,
so
actually.
we don't really do.
We're all
do much.
boring. We're metal people.
Yeah.
We're all dorks. It's all
People
boring.
think we're partying all the time. It just doesn't happen.
You know what, dude? Partying all the time is always the same. Films change and books are different.
it's true.
Partying is drinking, getting hammered, possibly doing silly crap. Fun? Yes.
Sometimes it's really fun
Sometimes.
stuff.
Other times, just guilt trips the next day.
Yeah, that's true.
So culture-wise, like, what do you read? What do you watch? Like, what's your thing?
Just a ton. Well,
We watch a lot of TV and film. We
Yeah.
don't read a lot, do we? Do you read a lot? I don't read a lot.
I only read occasionally, but a ton of TV shows mainly. I mean, it seems
Do you have
as
any,
though,
like, guilty pleasures?
Game of Thrones? I don't know if that's
We
a
just
good-
got back.
guilty pleasure.
We just
That's
got,
the only pleasure.
Yeah, right. We just got back from Europe, and I had never seen Game of
Exactly.
Thrones. And
What?
we were on tour for 2.5 weeks, and I watched 40 hours of Game of Thrones. In, like,
Are we all
for
caught
2.5
up?
Weeks. Yeah.
Yes, we
Are you? I'm not.
Oh, well, the new
really?
Sorry. We saw the first 3, and then
Yeah.
I'm at the end of season 3. I haven't started season 4.
What is it about dragons that excites us so much?
They're fucking dragons.
Because it's a mystical creature.
They breathe fire. I mean, what else do you need?
So in the modern world, like, if you wanted to have a pet, would it be a dragon?
Yeah.
I mean, like
now that you've seen Game of Thrones.
Anything.
Khaleesi. I'm jealous of her. Not gonna lie.
You can't have Khaleesi as a pet. Move on.
Oh, I meant her dragons.
Sure. But like, what would be like your like crazy awesome pet if you could just like own one?
Bubbles like Michael Jackson had. I don't want a monkey.
I would have a panther.
You want to have a panther?
that would be
You
sick.
can't cuddle a
Panther.
panther.
How about like a baby lion, just that stayed a baby
That
the
baby
whole
for
time?
life?
Yeah, that would be
A
amazing.
miniature.
like a genetically engineered baby lion?
Yes.
With no fangs.
No teeth.
And no instinct to kill.
like a
Just
jungle
wanted
hooker.
to, yeah, exactly. Like you just pay for your
I don't really know where this
pleasure.
conversation is going at this point.
It's going in a weird.
It's going into a weird direction. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. You guys have toured all over the world. Obviously, you're on the road all the time. What has been your favorite place culture-wise to visit? Like, where have you been like? Because for me, it was the Parthenon. I like lost my shit.
Wait, where?
Where?
Greece?
Greece, Athens,
Greece, yeah,
Parthenon.
yes.
I
We haven't been to Greece, but
Yeah.
I
that would be
climbed up
amazing.
there and I started crying.
Really?
Oh wow.
Well, because
I wish we
it's
could
so
do that.
large and it's so massive, and just to think about people before any kind of real tools building those, it just made me cry. Like I was literally, because you're like at this mountaintop that you have to climb up to.
You're so
Imagine,
metal.
yeah.
You're so
Yeah,
awesome.
man. But you get up there and you're like, so what place in the world has done that for you guys?
Oh man, nowhere's made me cry yet. I'm a singer though. It should, everywhere should make me cry. No, it should.
It's either everything or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. We got back from Europe. We saw some cool shit in Europe.
Well, we actually went to the Ukraine and we checked out the square area, and that was
Before it was made
Yeah,
a mess.
that
well,
was-
it was kind of
Well, right after.
It was in
we-
Right
between.
after,
It was in
yeah.
between the two
Yes,
sets of
Just like a
rides.
couple weeks
that
ago.
was kind of breathtaking in a way,
Yeah.
because to be able to witness, that
Yeah,
kind of
that was.
thing.
And do
crazy.
people treat you okay in Ukraine? Like,
Yeah,
They were so
great.
polite.
They were great.
Yeah, they were awesome.
They were really appreciative that we didn't cancel our show. Actually, like
Yeah.
A lot of
verbally.
bands canceled the
they
shows.
don't
Yeah.
get a lot of that out there.
Yeah.
They're like stoked.
We were like gung ho on going, and
Most band can like they,
Yeah,
I think he
everyone
said
canceled.
90% or 95% of bands cancelled because of what was going on, and so he was they were very grateful that we actually.
it was
went there.
surreal. The whole experience was definitely surreal.
Are you guys into politics at all?
Not
so
deeply,
much.
but we got into that situation once we were over there. We
Tell
found
me
it
how you feel
interesting
about that
that
situation.
once we were there, we learned a lot more information about it that they don't tell you over here.
Yeah.
About the I know, but once you actually
there's
hear
like a
it,
lot of propaganda on both sides, so it's like
Yeah.
our media is telling. You know, when you're there though, it's not. I mean, there was a lot of things that weren't
You can't get this
very bad.
straight.
The
Walk
people
around.
there like have the best attitudes ever, and they're like, all they want is to
They
be
just wanna
free.
live.
And
Yeah.
like, and any culture wants it. You know, like
So do you not feel like American news is lies?
what
it's
American
not
news?
lies. It's just not
They just
quite accurate. But
It's
I
just
mean, any news really, you can't
Yeah.
get a straight shot from anyone. You just have
everything is one version of the truth. Yeah, it's all one. There's only one truth per person. So there's only
just like in
gonna
a
be-
relationship.
Exactly.
It's just your own truth.
Yeah. It was interesting going there and hearing their version of that truth, though,
What's their
because they were
version?
living it. Well, their version was just, we're not taking this, we don't care, we're done.
What do they
We're-
want? What do they really want?
They just want Russia not to
Take over.
it's really simple. It's not actually a much of a political thing. They just want it to be how it was. They don't want someone coming in there and saying you're changing your passports, your names, your way of life, your everything. And so they set up in the middle of the street, and they didn't move, and they didn't take no for an answer, and they're still there. And there was a lot more devastating behavior on the part of Russia that we don't really hear about. And that was the thing that we learned when we went to the radio stations and we talked to people who, they're like us. They're people that are music nerds and they want to hang out and read and
Working
watch.
people doing their thing.
And they said like, yeah, I had to go down there and carry people back out of the line of fire, and I was throwing Molotov cocktails with everyone else, and I was terrified that I was going to die. And they were talking to us a week later, and it was real. It was really real. Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not there anymore. All my Ukrainian people.
Were you born there?
I was.
You were, okay.
I was. I immigrated in '89, and when I left, the wall came down like shortly thereafter. So
You got lucky.
the guy left. Well, I'm a Jew, so we had to leave because
Right.
they don't like us over there
Yeah.
so much. God bless America is all I'm saying.
Guys, I love your band. I love your music.
Thanks.
It's a pleasure to finally talk to you. Thank you so much. Welcome to Rockville.
Thanks,
thank
man.
you.
This has
It's
been
been
an
great.
experience. It's been awesome. We can't wait to watch other bands right now. We're
Yeah,
gonna do that
man.
right now, I think. It's gonna be awesome.
That's why we're going to cut off this interview, because we're going to watch some rock and roll. I'm Juliya Chernetsky. You're watching FanPass.tv. These are Sick Puppies, and they're pretty badass. Check it out.